I remember when I first read Vagabond, I loved it as this story of this guy's personal growth as just a person and, also a swordsman. And I read it and it's like this, it was a story that could just be applied to getting better at anything in life, just approaching anything. And I respected that. I loved it. But I feel like when I read it, I was missing an entire other half of the story. But it's like clicked now, and it's because of Zen. Okay, so Zen is the moment devoid of personality. Zen is the moment of understanding that there is not an I that is doing all of existing, but that there is an I that is happening. And in that moment, you reach a certain inner peace or contentness or, nothingness that is just doing. And that'd be Zen. Okay, so I want to go over 4 things that I've decided these are the ones. So it'd be the obvious ones of actually they're all obvious. So how the statue is a state of mind or the state of his energy. How eventually he gains the ideology that the priest, I forget his name, I think it's like Tantu, but I know that's wrong. Takun. I'm pronouncing that wrong. No, that's probably right. Takun was talking about, helping everyone, giving your life another meaning by making others content. The dualism of Musashi Miyamoto and his sword, and then the dualism of heaven and earth. Hey, do subscribe by the way. I'm trying to get like 1,000 of you, hopefully, maybe. Please and thank you. Okay, the first one. This one's not really Zen. I realized it after the fact. But I think it's like a really interesting way to show how Musashi feels throughout the entire story. Instead of, doing like a monologue or being like, oh, the weather's gonna be bad, which I don't know what I'm referencing, but it's interesting that he just carves statues that directly represent his ego and his fighting spirit. Either it's calmness or it's rage. Bodhicitta. That's what I found what it was called. Bodhicitta. And it is the aspiration to attain welfare for all sentient beings. Hold on, I'm reading this. To attain Buddhahood for their sake. To lead all sentient beings to a perfect enlightenment and to replace others' suffering with bliss. That is what Takun was trying to teach him, and by the end of the story, he realizes that by starts living for others with the girl and the scythe father, the god of death, the previous god of death, the farming, and probably other stuff in the book because he realizes it late. But he does. He realizes it because living your life for others gives it more meaning, and that's so sweet. It's beautiful and it's true. The non-duality between his sword and earth. The non-duality, it's not thinking in terms of object and subject, that this is a sword and I have to swing it faster, but that there's no sword. More of a continuous movement of energy, of body, sword, and all, just happening all at once. And once he realized that's what he has to train towards. He has to train towards not thinking in terms of I need my sword to cut harder faster, but become part of his body, an extension of it, he becomes stronger. Also, I feel like I should mention that there's this whole thing of ambition or motivation, which is just Musashi has an unlimited supply of motivation for his ambitions from his father, and that inadvertently turning into a different thing of just wanting to become the best, and then wanting to figure out why other people were better, which leads him to, like, do everything, climb the mountain. Just he has a well that won't dry up. That's the metaphor I was looking for of ambition. So it doesn't really apply to as a story for real life. Now, what's the difference between the non-duality between himself and his sword and himself in heaven? I made this beautifully pretentious thing that you're about to see, explaining that. Because he realized that if he wanted his swordplay to be better, then it could only be as good as the thing containing it, himself. So Musashi expands. He expands himself, his body, his consciousness, his sight, what he's seeing, what he's tuning into. He sees everything around him. He notices things that you wouldn't think are important to the sword fight, but they are. I guess, to quote it itself, the veins and the leaves behind him. He's seeing the unseeable, the rhythm that Ishun is working off of, what he's gonna do, what he's thinking. And he gains a sense of calmness because he's truly not there. There's nothing for him to even calm. And he becomes a monolith that can't be cut down because there's nothing to cut down.